Well, hello. Thank you for watching this video. Today, we are going to dive into online reputation management. Now, this virtual workshop is brought to you by the Visit St. Pete Clearwater team in an effort to help the community businesses maximize their exposure digitally as visitors return to the area. Now, my name is Josh Ray. I am the program specialist for Miles Partnership, and I'm excited to share this information with you today. What we're going to cover today is specifically focus in on online reputation management, what that is and how it applies to your business's success, and then 4 keys to online reputation management. So 4 steps, 4 things that you can do to make sure that your business is showing up online in the best way possible, that you're sharing the right information, and that you're doing a great job, a fantastic job at responding to reviews, questions, answers, customer comments, DMs, and all of the above. Now getting into it, what is online reputation management? It's your ongoing efforts to monitor, cultivate, and maintain your brand and its good standing online. And why does it matter to your business? Well, first off, you want to inspire customer confidence, and one of the best things to do is share information about what your business is doing to inspire confidence so people can travel confidently and make a visit to your business when they are traveling. It can help you rank better in search results. So by managing your reputation, responding to reviews, generating reviews, even just being present online, it's going to help you rank better in search results, especially on Google, who, as we know by now, owns that space completely. And it can help lead to conversion as well as sales. So hopefully it'll inspire more and more people to make a visit to your business and spend more money. By managing your reputation too, it's also a great way to build community online with potential customers, even past customers, present customers, and future customers. Managing your reputation is a great way to, again, inspire and create community online. So some of the keys that we are going to unpack today will be establishing your presence. So what does it look like to maintain a presence online through your business channels? There's a lot of different channels out there. We're going to focus on a number of them. Some of them we've already talked about quite a bit in some of the other videos, but we'll do a little recap on those and then give you some additional information on how to manage your reputation inside of those channels well. And then we'll get into sharing the latest updates about your business, especially in times of COVID-19 response, some different ways, strategic ways that you can do that now to make sure that you are inspiring confidence for travelers to make a visit to your business. Then monitoring reviews, comments, as well as questions. We even have a little bit of information in there about DMs. And then lastly, ending with creating a response plan and following it. So kicking it off here, we want to talk about establishing your presence online and what it looks like to share the latest updates from your business presence. So we've talked about Google, Yelp, and TripAdvisor a number of times already through the additional workshop videos that we've already covered. Just make sure that you are utilizing all of the free tools and resources within those review sites. So you'll have some COVID-19 updates, amenities, attributes, highlights, descriptions, banners that you can place on your listing. There's a lot of different tools and resources, and we recommend going through and watching the other videos if you haven't watched those yet. They pertain specifically to Google My Business, Yelp, and TripAdvisor, some fundamentals, and then some more advanced tips for Google My Business as well. So again, just be sure that you're using all of those COVID-19 updates, features, tools that are available inside of each of those products. That way people can get the most up-to-date information from your business online when they're researching. Now we're going to talk about own channels. So specifically right here, your website. So you want to make sure that you follow SEO best practices so your website gets indexed inside of Google. So if you have a web development team, or maybe you are that person, think about some specific SEO best practices that you'd like to apply. There's a number of great resources online in terms of SEO. But the better your SEO is for your website, the better your website is going to appear in search results inside of tools like Google or other search engines out there. Another tip would be to add frequently asked questions on your homepage. And so right now there's a lot of questions out there in regard to travel and maybe in regard to what your business is doing to respond to COVID-19. So therefore, it might be worth addressing those questions on your homepage on your website and you can share kind of like a COVID-19 status, like we see here in this example, of what this business is doing to respond to COVID-19 and ensure confidence for their guests and travelers. And then you want to point to other channels as your resources, as your source of information. So WHO, so the World Health Organization, is a great resource to turn to, or the CDC. So if you're going to share information on your website, just be sure that you're sourcing where that information is coming from. That way, your guests know that it's coming from a trusted source. And then an additional advanced tip here is to use schema markup to publish your best reviews on your website. So there's some other tips in here in this presentation. We talked about it during the Yelp and TripAdvisor presentation as well, but it is specific to widgets. Widgets are another way to share reviews to your website from specific channels. And so look to see what widgets are available, whether it's a TripAdvisor widget, or you might be able to use some schema markup. Again, talk to your web development team. They'll know what that entails. And so you can get that information, like your reviews, share it onto your website. It's another way to just pull from your additional channels and kind of share, cross-reference that type of content and information. Now diving into social media. Manage your business page on Facebook. So if you don't already manage your business page on Facebook, make sure that you get access to that on top of your Google My Business page, your Yelp channel, your TripAdvisor page. Wherever your business is relevant online, make sure that you've claimed and owned those listings or those channels. And that way you are the one in charge of the content going out, as well as the reviews. You can respond to those, and the photos and all that. You're basically the one kind of directing those channels, rather than them just being left unmanaged. And the worst thing that could happen is you've got a number of bad reviews and bad PR out there, and no one to manage that for your listing, or take care of that, or handle that effectively. From your social channels, like your Facebook page, be sure that you're sharing real-time changes in operations, hours, delays, anything like that. So if you have cancellations to events that have been planned for months, or your operations have changed in any way, make sure that not only have you updated that information on your review sites, but also on your social channels. Let your followers know what's up, and that way it's another way of you inspiring confidence in their visit to your business, but you're also sharing information that's applicable for them to be aware of, okay? And then there's an opportunity to pin your latest post or top posts inside of Facebook as well as Twitter. And so if you have pertinent information that's important to future guests to be aware of, be sure that you're posting or you're pinning that top post on your Facebook page and Twitter. That way it's the first thing people see, or new guests might see when looking at your page. And then be sure to use sensitive language. So don't suggest your products or services are essential. Try to avoid language that creates a false sense of urgency, things like stock up, limited supply, kind of those clickbaity terms. You don't want to instill any kind of false sense, like we said, false sense of urgency for people. Times are already interesting enough. You don't need to add to any of the chaos. So if it's not necessary, we recommend staying away from using any kind of language like that. Again, be sure to use sensitive language during these times. And also, safety doesn't have to be boring. We've seen a number of examples of businesses that have found interesting ways to incorporate social distancing, safety best practices, different kind of protocols into their social messaging. And so get creative, have fun, and think about a number of ways that you can share interesting updates about what your business is doing to combat COVID-19. We have some examples here, one from the Dolly Museum, another one from the Gatorland, it is specifically the social distancing skunk ape. So fun examples here of ways you can make your posts interesting, but also adhere to guidelines in your area. Some additional tips here on sharing from your social channels is to first be proactive and detailed. Less questions, concerns you'll get from customers. So if you're going to share some information about an upcoming event, make sure that you're as detailed as possible on how that event is going to roll out, how you're going to adhere to the guidelines, things like that. This one's really important. Avoid images with crowds and without face coverings. So obviously it's a sensitive topic right now, mask, no mask, big groups of people. If you have older images showing off events or your business that have a lot of people in them, especially with no masks, try to think about finding a new image, shooting a new image, or replacing an image that kind of fits in line with our current times. Okay, and to that point, don't schedule out content too far in advance. So some of you might have like an editorial calendar that you work from that is kind of your source for what you're going to post this week, next week, a month from now. So try not to schedule too far in advance, because as we know, things are changing on the daily. And so you want to be able to make sure that you can kind of adapt and stay nimble in your social media strategy. So one of the ways to do that is make sure you're not scheduling content too far in advance. And then on that note, make sure you're balancing the content types between your traditional strategy, so what you would normally post, and your response strategy, so how you are combating or responding to the current times with COVID-19 and recovery, and what that looks like for your area and for your business. I think this example here from the Clearwater Marine Aquarium is a great example. It's a masked photo with the dolphin. It's a great image, and it was shared on National Selfie Day, so it was timely. And it was a great response to, obviously, the current times. Now getting into monitoring your reviews, comments, as well as questions and answers. So the first thing you want to do is keep track of reviews. Make sure that you're aware of when reviews are posted. Set up alerts. On all of the review sites, you can set up alerts in your settings to be emailed. That way you're notified when a review is posted, and you can respond to those reviews quickly. You also don't want to let negative reviews or misinformation out there inside of reviews impact your business in a negative way. And so this is one of the major reasons why we recommend turning on those notifications, so you can actively be aware of what reviews are being posted to your profiles or your channels, and that way you can respond to them promptly as well. And then when in doubt, so if you're trying to figure out what review site to prioritize, we recommend prioritizing Google, because as we see here, this is specific to hotel reviews, but they own that space compared to Booking and TripAdvisor. And this is kind of an ongoing trend for other categories or business types in the world of Google reviews. So if you're trying to figure out what to prioritize first, where to respond to reviews first, we would recommend starting with Google and then working your way to the other channels that are kind of follow suit in priority, like Yelp, TripAdvisor, Facebook, and more. Google questions and answers is another opportunity to respond or communicate with past, present, future guests. You might have responded to your questions and answers. You might not even know that these are a thing. They live specifically on your Google business profile inside of Google search. You can't get them on Google Maps, and you can't respond to them inside of your Google My Business dashboard. So it's a bit interesting, unique in that way. You can, however, turn on questions and answers notifications in your settings inside of GMB, and we cover that during the advanced tips for maximizing your Google My Business exposure video. So if you need a refresher, or maybe you didn't catch that during the last video, or during that video, be sure that you go back in and watch the best practices for responding to questions and answers. But know that anyone can ask and anyone can answer questions. But the best thing for you in terms of responding to questions and answers is for you to respond, because you are the expert. You are the best person to be responding to any questions on your questions and answers section inside of Google My Business. In regards to overall sentiment, what are people saying about your business on social? It's a good idea to go through and actively scan your comments, actively scan hashtags specific to your business. Anytime your app mentioned, check out those app mentions. That's important for Twitter and Instagram. You just want to make sure that you're aware of what people are saying about your business online. There might be some branded hashtags or campaign hashtags that you've used as well. That's another great place to turn to see what people are posting about your business. Is it good? Is it bad? And how can you kind of restructure what you're posting on social to hopefully encourage more good than bad? Another tip would be to consider a social media listening platform. There's a number of them. We have a couple examples: Hootsuite, Mention, Awario. Those will provide you with customer sentiment information. So what are people saying about your business? Show you the amount of mentions, hashtags, things like that. So if you're looking for some automation in that world, maybe subscribe or sign up for a social media listening platform. It could be from the list here. You could perform a Google search, see what product works best for your business. And then lastly, don't forget to check your DMs. So your DMs, oftentimes small businesses don't build in time to check those, but they are important. Sometimes you get some valid questions that come in DMs. Those are people that don't want to comment publicly. Maybe they're looking for some product support, or they've got a question for you. In Instagram, check your DMs, Twitter, your DMs, and Facebook, your DMs. You can also set up bot responses inside of Facebook. And so if you don't have time or the bandwidth to check DMs every day or messages in Facebook, you can sign up for a bot system to kind of walk customers or guests through a series of questions and answers, and then obviously turn them to contact you in another way, or you can pick up the conversation when you deem necessary. So bots are helpful in that way. That might be applicable to you, it might not. But don't totally forget about your DMs on your social channels. Now, getting into growing your reviews, we talked about this during some of the other presentations as well, but I feel that this is important to cover here. It all starts with making your customers happier than when they walked in. So whatever you can do to provide them with an experience that they'll never forget, or a product that they can't stop talking about, that's the best person to then go in and ask them to leave a customer for your business. In fact, or leave a review for your business. And in fact, this study from Bright Local shows that 68% of consumers will leave a local business review when asked to do so. So it's not a weird thing. Majority of people that are asked to leave a review will actually go in and leave a review. So if you have someone who had a fantastic experience and they're raving to you about it, you can politely ask them to leave a review. Just remember that on Yelp, that's the one channel that you can't ask for reviews, so don't ask them to review on Yelp, but you can for the other channels out there. And then another way to grow your reviews is to utilize your own channels, so your website or your social channels, to drive traffic to reviews. You can use widgets, you can use links to your review pages, or links to just your Yelp or TripAdvisor alone, and that can then hopefully inspire more people to leave more reviews on your page, hopefully more positive reviews. Another resource that you can use to hopefully grow more reviews is to utilize the stickers. So the review is on Google sticker. You can order that from marketingkitwithgoogle.com. You can also request a TripAdvisor sticker by going to tripadvisor.com/sticker request. You can also go to tripadvisor.com/widgets to utilize widgets on your website so that you can pull information from TripAdvisor, or also encourage more reviews to your TripAdvisor listing. And then you can also request the Find Us on Yelp sticker by filling out this form. This form is a Google form, in which case Yelp is looking for the information to then send the sticker to. Okay, why respond? Social proof. Why it's important to be an active participant in engaging with consumer reviews. Well, 82% of consumers read reviews for local businesses. This is research done by Bright Local as well in their 2019 local consumer review survey. And 53% of consumers will only use a business if it has 4 or more stars. And this one's really important. Out of all the people that read reviews, 90% of consumers read businesses' responses to reviews, which means 97% of people that read reviews are interested in seeing what businesses have to say, how they respond to positive and negative reviews. So if you've ever thought about, is it important to respond to reviews? Should I be responding to reviews? What if I have old reviews that I haven't responded to? Well, people are interested in reading your responses, so it is important. Build time into your schedule to respond to all of the reviews posted on your review pages. Okay. And in terms of your star rating, which comes in from your reviews, this is specific to Google right here. But A readings increase from 3.7 to 4.4 can increase conversion rate by 80 to 120%. So your ratings are important. Making sure that your ratings on an upward trajectory is really important to converting people to spending money in your business. And you should really kind of be targeting an average rating of 4.4 or higher. So if you're kind of at 4.0, try to get up to that 4.4, 4.5 space. That will help you appear higher in search results inside of Google. It'll also hopefully help you appear in the local pack or the 3-pack that you'll see. So top 3 search results for a search in regard to a keyword and a location. And again, we cover a lot of that during some of the previous videos that you've watched. And now lastly, the response plan. Create it and follow it. So establish ownership for who will monitor comments and reviews and who will deliver the response. So it's really good to have a point person that is taking on the responsibility of responding to questions and answers, responding to reviews. You can divvy this up and delegate it however you would like, but be sure that there is a point person who is responsible, who's actively checking all of the different areas that people are talking about your business. Okay, and that could also be the same person that's responding to all of those different communications or reviews. Try to respond quickly. So 7 days or as close to real time as possible in order to be effective. You might ask, how long is too long to leave a review unresponded to? Well, try not to leave one unresponded to more than 7 days. If you have old reviews that are like a year old or more, it's up to you to decide if you want to go through, if it's worthwhile responding to. If you only have 3 reviews on your page, I would say just respond. It's not going to take you more than 5 minutes to respond to all of the reviews. Okay. Develop and share a response structure for positive reviews and comments. So it's good to have kind of a process on how you're going to respond to reviews. And that way you can use that process moving forward to work quickly through responding to those reviews. And then in the same way, have a structure for how you're going to respond to negative reviews. Make sure you can kind of be a template in a way. Have a template ready to go, and then include the pertinent information or the details from the review in your response. Now, some tips here for responding to positive reviews is, first off, you want to thank your happy customers for taking the time to help your business by leaving a review. So thank them for that, because they took time out of their day to leave a 5-star review and include details. And details are actually really important for reviews too. We'll get into mentioning your business name in the response to a review, but anywhere that someone might mention a product or an item or a service from your business in the review, that can also be a trigger point for how your business profile appears in a specific search that's executed, okay? In your response, after you've thanked them, maybe suggest that they try something else on the menu or try that other cocktail, or my favorite is this: I hope to see you back at ABC Restaurant again. And then if you get a review that's 3 or 4 stars, acknowledge any constructive criticism in those reviews. So if people have criticism and it's constructive, you can respond to that. You can highlight those constructive criticism points and talk to that. Maybe it's something that you're working on in business. Maybe it's actually just part of your business ethos, and it wasn't the way that the customer hoped, but that's actually how you do things. And you can make note of that. Say, hey, that's actually recognize that you didn't enjoy this, but that's actually part of our business operations, what we do. And that's okay. Just make sure that you acknowledge that in the response. And then mention your business name. So in positive reviews, it's good to mention your business name, give your name, maybe your title at the business, and then the business name. And that way it can positively index your business. It actually might help that review rank higher than other reviews in your review section. Now, responding to negative reviews, not replying looks like you don't care. So make sure that you reply to all reviews, even negative reviews. For negative reviews, be short, be polite, be professional, and friendly. Okay, and I don't mean short and jabby. I mean short in the response. And in that response, encourage them to contact you offline. If you're able to contact or get in contact with that person offline, it's the best case scenario, because what happens is the battle back and forth between you trying to make things better and them just having a bad day doesn't have to be publicly read by everyone else. Because as you remember, 97% of people reading reviews will want to read the business's responses. They're going to for sure read the entire thread. You do not want to get into a battle there. So encourage that they contact you offline. Try to resolve it over the phone. Provide specifics in your response. Hey, contact our manager at this number. We'd like to make right. Okay. And some information here, or a number here coming in from Reputology poll, shows that 80% of unhappy customers were won over with the right response. And so having the right response over that phone call can easily lead to winning that customer over, that guest over, and hopefully they will make another trip back. Best case scenario is that they remove their low rating and their poor review or negative review on your page. Okay. Now, don't offer discounts or freebies, especially online as you're responding to negative reviews. It opens up the door for future guests to then take advantage of that. They know that if they have a bad time, whether it's true or not, that you are going to offer them something in return. So do not get in the business of doing that in your responses. And then know that every complaint has a lesson to teach about how to improve your products, services, or communication. And so there is always a lesson in reviews. Now, there might be some reviews that just don't make any sense. Maybe it's fake content, maybe it's off topic, maybe it was posted by someone else or posted about someone else, so it wasn't a firsthand experience, or maybe it's a competitor. Those are all a number of reasons why you can flag reviews. So be sure that you're flagging those reviews so they don't negatively impact your rating as well as the overall sentiment on that channel for your business. So that brings us to a close here on the 4 different keys to reputation management. Remember, first off, establish your presence, gain access to all of your listings out there, claim them if you need to, verify them if you need to, and then start sharing updates about your business. Make sure that you're utilizing all of the free tools and resources along with all of the COVID-19 features, tools, and resources available. And then beyond that, beyond just sharing, also engage. So monitor reviews, respond to comments, questions that are out there. Don't forget about your DMs inside of all your social channels. And then lastly, create a response plan and follow it. So be sure that you're responding to comments. Be sure that you're responding to reviews. Be sure that you are actively engaged with each and every one of your channels. Remember, if you're trying to figure out what channel to prioritize, we recommend starting with Google. It's one of the easiest ones to manage and has a huge impact on the overall perception of your business. So start with Google and then go from there. But we wish you all success in the world of online reputation management. It's important to you. We hope that you learned a lot from each and every one of these videos, especially this video today. And we look forward to the next time. Big thank you to the team at Visit St. Pete Clearwater. If you have any questions, you can reach out to their team. They will be doing a lot of follow-up in regards to kind of the audit process that our team at Miles performed. So they're going to be doing some outreach to you on next steps, including information for you to be able to then utilize and make the most out of your presence online inside of Google, inside of Yelp, TripAdvisor, Facebook, and more. So again, I wish you all success in the world of online reputation management and optimization. I've enjoyed sharing this information with you. I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and we look forward to the next time.